Stuart, can I just say what a joy it has been for me to listen to you playing today. I've been standing the other side of the room and thoroughly enjoying every note that you've played. There's such a variation of sounds. The first piece you played, the chorus song, that's going to be on your new album, isn't it?
It will indeed, yeah. In 2013, I'll record a new CD called The Way Home, and the chorus song on The Way Home will be on there, yeah.
I've seen other players using a similar kind of technique in terms of the sound, but tell me how you get that sound, that kind of Cora, almost like a steel pan sound with the guitar. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I first saw two guitar players do this, nylon string player Ralph Towner and Martin Taylor. All you do is they use matchbooks. I found for steel string guitar that this is a bit of a gym membership card, something I wasn't using. It's just a thin strip of plastic.
I stopped going to the gym as well.
It's a thin strip of plastic, and you weave it under and over the strings at the bridge. You have to compensate a little bit for the thickness of the strings, so you can see mine is actually angled, moving away from the bridge, the string 6. And what it does is it gives the strings, yeah, that sort of Cora steel pan effect. What you have to do is you have to combine it with something musically which sounds the same. It's like kind of rolling. So it's got that sort of feel to it. It's essential as well.
It's a lovely sound. I bet on stage you mix it in with maybe a bit of reverb and a bit of chorus, and it can sound magical. I've recently been touring with John Etheridge, and he uses it on an African piece. It's a great sound. It's something I haven't particularly got into, but hey, there's only so much life left to try these things. But you do it to great effect. I'd like to move on to the next piece you did, which is the House Carpenter, and you mentioned it as a G minor tuning. Just tell us what the notes are without having to retune the guitar.
Sure, yeah. In open G minor, you have string 6 tuned down to a D, string 5 to a G, string 4 stays as a D, 3 is a G, string 2 goes down to a B flat, and then string 1 goes down a whole tone to a D. It gives you a really, really dark sound. Open G major, open G minor are two fantastic tunings. Two that I haven't explored that much actually, so more to come from those two, definitely.
Do you find that with tunings, that once you actually get into a tuning, you find that it inspires more pieces within that tuning?
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, I'm getting to the stage now where I'm always looking for things like open G and open C, just things that for me are untapped, everything in standard. I'm very comfortable with standard tuning, but a byproduct of that is that you end up playing the same patterns, playing in the same positions. So I think compositioning to get new ideas, sometimes a new tuning can be essential. I mean, what's important for me is to understand what's going on in a tuning, not just to let the fingers fall into place, which you can do. With dadgad, you'll hear people do the same thing over and over again in dadgad, because everybody finds the good stuff very quickly. So new tunings, I think, always thinking new tuning. Well, can I play a G chord? Can I play G major in open G major tuning? Where's my D chord? So I always feel my way around a tuning. I mean, I often say to guitar players who are heavily into dadgad, can you play G, C, and D? And a lot of the time, that they can't. So I think as a composer, you need to really understand a tuning as much as you need to find that stuff within it as well.
That's really good advice. That's something I've never done actually. When I get into a tuning, and probably the same as you, that tuning then inspires another tune. And the interesting thing is that my friend Ray Burley, the classical player, has done an entire album of my pieces in standard tuning. He's taken my, I think, well, maybe I should go to him for lessons and learn it in standard tuning and save all that pain of having to retune. But, I think it's, as we all know, I think open tuning is an inspirational tool for composition. Would you agree?
Definitely. I mean, I think another great thing about open tunings is, you'll find people saying, I've run out of ideas in dadgad, and then you find out that everything they've written is in D. Dadgad just lends itself to D, so say to yourself, okay, I'll write something in E. All of a sudden you've got to find new places, new voicings, and I'll write in C in dadgad. Eric Roach used to like doing things like arranging tunes in dadgad in weird keys, like B flat. He'd arrange Somewhere Over the Rainbow in B flat in dadgad. So he had to really think about what he was doing, rather than do that thing of the fingers finding the great chord and going, I'll write something around there.
Yes.
So it's always good to challenge yourself with it.
It is, and also what it does is opens up the doors. It's almost like a voyage of discovery. You think, oh well, where is this going to lead me? Well, that's not logical. I like that. And I say, we all, as guitar players, we all tend to follow those old familiar patterns, and I think the open tunings done in the right way can kind of get us away from that. Getting back to the house carpenter, I know that your lovely wife Cora particularly likes that piece. I mean, is she a particularly violent person?
Yeah, I mean, The House Carpenter is a song about murder and death, and she loves that tune, but she didn't know it was about that.
Yeah.
I think she likes. There's a very sort of heavy feel to that tune. I think it's quite engaging because the harmony is quite dark, and she loves it. Yeah, I mean, she loves all my music, but the House Carpenter is the one. If she hears me playing that, she'll come in and go, "Oh, I love that tune. Play it again." I love playing for her. Love playing.
That's
for
a
her.
great thing about that tune. Is a traditional song without the lyrics. Nobody knows it's going to be dark, but by the nature of the piece, it's going to have that dark feel to it. I want to talk about guitars and strings and other things in a minute, but I want to move on to your final piece, which was particularly moving and poignant, I think, for both of us, because we both knew Eric Roach, a great musician, and a sad loss. And what a wonderful thing for you to have actually written something in his memory. And I particularly liked one section where you played a low-end version and you played the same thing, but further up the neck with slightly different bass notes. And I like that about the guitar. We can do that. Let's quickly talk about your favoured guitars at the moment.
Well, at the moment, acoustically, I'm playing Collins guitars, made in Austin, Texas, United States. Wonderful guitars made by wonderful people. I've been fortunate to get to know Mark and Steve, who work at Collins and come over here occasionally. I love these acoustic guitars. I love American sounding guitars anyway. And for me, they've got a clarity, but they've got depth as well. And I play Collins acoustics and electrics, amongst other things.
Let's not forget, it's not the guitar, it's the player. And string gauges, I believe you use 12 gauge?
1252, yeah. These are 1252 elixirs, which great strings. They match well with this guitar actually. Sometimes I use D'Addario 1252. Coated strings, as we were saying earlier, they last longer, they retain the brightness. You've got to be careful, I mean, sometimes coated strings can be too bright, but these things sound great.
Yeah, it sounds wonderful. A few tips, very quick tips, warm-up techniques.
Warm-up techniques, I always think, for me, if I'm playing a recording, I warm up the right hand, the picking hand first. Simple patterns. Just build slowly and repetition.
Yeah, just get the right hand going. And future plans, sir?
Future plans, 2013. You can keep up with me at stuartryanmusic.com. Future plans going to be 2 books next year, a book of traditional solo guitar arrangements and a book of electric guitar blues, and of course a new CD which is long overdue.
We look forward to it. Stuart, it's been a pleasure seeing you again, man. Thank you so much for joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, Stuart Ryan. Round of applause.